Hey everybody, welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. Thanks for joining me again. We're here at Ujits, and something terrible has happened here. If you saw the last episode, you know what it was. Something terrible, terrible, terrible. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. We're trying to figure out who did it. Who killed Limpy Lubosh, I think his name is. Well, the priest here knows something, but Father Godwin is his name. He knows something, but he can't tell us because what was told to him in confidence during confession, and that's sacred. He can't just go around telling me what Limpy Lubosh told him. But he said he was going to try to think of a way to tell us anyway. So I went to see Father Godwin, the local parish priest, and tried to persuade him to tell me something about this Lubosh. He told me he couldn't break the confessional seal and tell me what Lubosh had confessed, but he promised me he'd try and figure out some other way to help me. The priest told me to come and see him in the evening at the alehouse, so we're going to do that. But this one's still here. I'll have to ask around if anyone knows more about this Limpy Lubosh. Maybe I'll learn something useful. And if we look at this on the map, it's just kind of like over here. We walked over here before, and there was just some people in a field. We stopped and talked to them, but who I'm supposed to talk to, I don't know. I don't know. Basically, I don't know is what I'm trying to tell you. Let's wash ourselves off. I don't know if I'm dirty or not, but I'm going to wash myself off. Walking around in my armor. I think somebody in the comments told me it doesn't matter. Walk around in your armor. But I guess really it's all the charisma is all that matters. Which is, my charisma's pretty low right now. I don't know why it's down at 10. Do I not have my buff anymore? No, I still have my flower power buff. That gives me a +2. So I would have an 8 right now if it weren't for my flower power. So I don't know why my charisma's so low. I really wish that it told a little bit better why things are the way they are. You know, what is being used to compute my charisma, because I feel like I should have a higher charisma right now. I just do. I mean, look how awesome I look. If I put this hat on instead, well, that doesn't do anything. Take these off, that doesn't do anything. Take this dumb thing off. That's probably what's wrong, because I was wearing that red thing. So let's see if I could get this higher. 12. I was 13 until I put this on. This actually hurts. Well, okay, it's probably because it's dirty. So let's wash ourselves again. Oh my gosh, I'm all turned around. Where was I where I just washed myself? Right here. So I'm going to wash myself again. I'm what, how many hours into this game and I'm still trying to figure crap like this out? 13. So it's no longer hurting my charisma, but it's not helping either wearing this thing. I don't know. But everything I'm wearing is clean. And, don't seem to... Okay, that actually hurts my charisma. I'm just seeing if I can get it higher. Oh, that hurts a lot. That's not good. Don't wear that. That doesn't help any. Oh, see my necklace. Now, why isn't my necklace doing anything? See, the necklace has a charisma of 20, so you would think that it would do something, but it's not doing anything. It's frustrating. Don't you know? Ooh, this hauberk does not help us at all. So we'll put this on, be back at 13. See how that goes for us. Sorry about that, I had a text. My girlfriend's out of town, she travels a lot, or she has so far this year, and so, she just texted me, so I was just responding to her text. Not that it's any of your business.
Started killing the horses.
What's this?
Can you credit it? The horses!
God almighty, why? What would they do that for?
I baffled myself. If they tried to steal them, now that I'd understand. But that? So as soon as we heard the horses whinnying in terror, we all ran to the stables. And those cutthroats were waiting for us there. And they set about trying to kill us all too. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
I'm still shaking at the knees. I don't know how I managed to escape alive. all of a sudden they were gone. And me and Mistress Zora and a few stable boys were left standing in the middle. Bloodbath.
That's dreadful. Thank the Lord you made it out alive.
All the saints were watching over me, but the others.
They're with God now.
I'm pretty sure we've heard
They are.
this exchange before.
May he have mercy on their souls.
He's obviously talking about what happened in Neuhof.
Everything you need for a proper soup.
I don't think we're going to learn anything about Lubosh by talking to a traitor, but let's
God
see.
save you. What can I do for you?
See, he has nothing new to say, because the "Can you tell me anything about Lubosh" is grayed out.
Well.
So he has nothing new to say. The villager here, nothing new. So I don't know if there's like just one random person that I haven't talked to yet that
Good day to you.
is going to have something new to say to us.
Farewell.
But, I mean, as long as that quest still survives, I guess I'm going to walk around and just randomly pester people. I already talked to the innkeeper over here. A water carrier here. Oh, this is Marouche. We already talked to her.
Goodbye.
Why would a quiet lad like that throw his lot in with that spawn of Satan? I'm sure there's something else behind it.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. You don't know about that. What's up, villagers? Do you know anything about
Good day to
Lubosh?
you. What do you need?
Nope, he has nothing new to say. What about this guy?
Good health to you.
Oh, thanks. Nothing new from him. What about you?
Goodbye.
So, I don't know, man. Got some random villager sitting over here.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Oh, okay. Nope,
Take
nothing
care.
new there. So yeah, I'm perplexed. What can I say? Nope, nothing new here. Then I think the innkeeper, we've already talked to him a couple of times. There's just a bunch of villagers around here. Ooh, Vashek. Have I talked to Vashek?
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
No. Oh, we're supposed to talk to him about this roan for Lady Stephanie. I might as well do it while we're here.
I heard you have a way with the horse that unsaddles everyone else.
Yes. I suppose I do.
And how do you do it? How do you calm him down?
I'm good to him.
But how? I've been entrusted by the Lady of Talmberg. I don't have time for this nonsense. I think either one of these would work. Let's try this one.
Listen, Vashek. I've been entrusted by the Lady of Talmberg. I need you to help me understand how to calm down that roan.
Lady Stephanie?
Then you know her.
She's a good person. She even talked to me once.
Ooh.
I know her too, and she was nice to me as well. Will you help me with the roan?
You have to sing him his favorite song.
And which one would that be?
Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to my maiden so fair?
That's, interesting.
Know how it looks, but he likes it.
Thank you, Vashek.
Am I going to have to write that down? Well, too bad. I can't get him to tell it to me again. So hopefully I don't have to remember that one. Let's see.
I'd
Horse
like you
riding.
to show me how to ride a horse better.
How to ride a horse better. Slightly advanced.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
All right,
Oh, okay.
but it'll cost you.
Let's learn some advanced techniques. Actually, let's do this.
Maybe another time.
So I said maybe another time because I just want to check something. Look at my screen here. Stats. Is it a skill? Horsemanship. Our horsemanship is at 10 right now, and this is where our bar is right here. Unfortunately, I can't translate this into a number, but that's where our bar is. See, it's a little bit behind this one, okay? So I'm going to get my training, and I'm going to see what happens. Does this bar go up? Does this go up? I don't know. Something I've wanted to know through the whole game, and maybe we'll find out right now.
I'd like you to show me.
Certainly.
Slightly advanced.
I'm interested.
All right.
So let's pay the man.
Now pay close attention.
Okay, I'll pay close attention. Our horsemanship has improved. Let us verify that. Skills horseman. Holy cow, okay. So the line was over here, now it's all the way over here. So our horsemanship has improved indeed. Townsman.
My respects to you.
Nothing new there about Lubosh. So, and then in the evening, we're supposed to meet Father Godwin here. And he's here. Okay, well, I'd say... Oh, Godwin's concubine. Well, unfortunately, we can't talk to her. But there's a lot of people in here. Joseph, I'm pretty sure we've already talked to him. I think we've actually spoken to him a couple times.
You should come to me.
He has nothing new to say about Lubosh. And then the bailiff here.
God save you. What can I do for you?
That's a pretty ratty-looking haircut.
Good luck to you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk to him. Let's talk to Father Godwin. Can I sit and talk to him as I'm sitting? Let's try this.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Skalitz. I don't mind telling you that. Boy, it's been a long time since we've had timed responses.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
Well, I see no reason to lie to him. Let's talk to him.
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was, man.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did send him. But he did? Okay.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He sent
I remember.
me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
They were not exaggerating this time, dude. Believe me, I saw it and it was bad.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
Well, let's talk to him a little bit.
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
We probably already had that conversation with him.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
You're just making excuses, dude.
You're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt
Oh
are
my.
right. You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest
I lost
tells his
reputation.
congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujic isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days, and stories from real life with a nice moral to them are popular as well, especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Dude's getting all fired up. Wow. So this is, in the last episode, remember when the game told us about this Jan Hus guy? Hus guy. So it seems like this is when it should have come up with that instead of then. But that's okay. Let's ask him some questions.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Are you sure about that?
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense.
That's exactly what happened.
They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Yeah, they did, though.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
That's a good plan. Let's get this guy drunk, see if we can get something out of him.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Ooh, we've reached a new level in drinking. Whoa, what was that?
Na kraj panu sej smutek, do dnielo I ráno utek, niech małżeński majstrat, do wczera żył dneska je prach, už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich muži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Budeme se bavit a do rána stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra je tu soudnej den, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this! Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh, come on. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
No, 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 no. Looks like I gotta fight. Help Godwin.
Come on, then.
Let's see. What is it? Okay. Oh, we're ganging up on this guy. Who's this? Wait a minute. Am I fighting the right person? Who's this guy?
I'll slaughter you.
The bells are ringing. I don't know if it's fair that we're ganging up on this guy.
Yeah.
Got a good old-fashioned drunken brawl. Reach a new level in warfare. This guy's actually pretty easy to fight. It, but it might help that he's being distracted. Oh, I need to back off a little bit, losing my stamina. Oh, he's down. Oh, we helped. Okay, reputation gained. Oh no. Whoa, whoa. Climb the bell tower. Where's the stairs?
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Uh-huh.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Okay, I'm in a private area.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Nice.
Ah, bloody oath.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Okay. Oh. Okay, who am I? Am I the girl? Okay.
Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Okay. All right. Jeez. Okay. Uh-huh. Who's ringing the bell now? Is it those girls? What the heck? Alright. We're walking around in circles in the fields. Ooh, we're pretty drunk. Oh, okay. That's kind of pretty.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Oh, Henry. The stuff you get up to.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive.
Is it Sunday morning?
I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Now we're on to something. Drinking binge. Reach a new level in drinking. The confessional seal isn't sacred anymore?
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Okay. We're never going to get away with it. I don't know. Let's do it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
There is a chance that I could screw this up and then he not tell us anything. Sheesh. Crazy, crazy. Mysterious Ways is the name of this quest. That's a good name for it. Well, let's see here. What has happened? So we met him. We met him there. And I vaguely recall for a while everything was merry. and then someone came along and spoiled the fun. Maybe the bailiff? Anyway, I do recollect that Father Godwin wasn't happy about it, and the next thing I knew, there was a brawl. I seem to remember a bell, tits, and, considering I spent the night with a holy man, a lot of blasphemy and sin. Come morning, the priest woke up in a very ungodly state. It dawned on him he was supposed to say Mass and really wasn't up to the job. Father Godwin, who could hardly walk after his escapades of the previous night, came up with the insane idea that I should preach from the pulpit for him. He says if I give a sermon about the teachings of the famed preacher Master Jan Hus, he'll tell me what he knows about Lubosh. Well, of course I don't remember word for word what he told us about Master Jan Hus, but I do remember the gist of it. Basically, the church is money crazy, and that's bad. That's my sermon. I'm sticking to it. We're actually okay. We're very conspicuous right now. We should probably put some clothes on before we go out there. So let me get myself all looking all nice and everything. I'm gonna put this on. I gotta put my necklace on. I'm gonna put on some hose, and we're gonna put on this thing. And we probably should put on some shoes too. Yeah, we don't look so bad. I'm not gonna put on a hat because we're indoors. We're not supposed to wear hats indoors, right? If I look at my player screen and my buffs, drunkenness, a state of spiritual well-being that only the drunk himself can appreciate. Drunkenness comes on gradually, and its level is shown by the gold background on the buff's icon. Okay, so we're about a quarter drunk. It increases according to how much you've drunk. Up to the halfway point of the buff, your strength, speech, vitality, and charisma increase up to a maximum of +2. The closer you get to the halfway mark, the greater the bonus. But your conspicuousness will rise considerably, and you can see we're very conspicuous, but that's okay. When you pass the halfway point of the buff, the effect of drunkenness will change, which is also shown by the icon. Your strength, speech, vitality, and charisma will be penalized by -2 at most. The closer you get to filling the buff, the more severe the penalties. If you continue drinking and increase your drunkenness to the maximum, you will black out. Once you've digested all the alcohol you drank, your drunkenness will gradually fall. If you drank a lot, after the buff ends, you still face a hangover. The amount you can drink before suffering negative effects depends on your drinking skill. If you drink often, you can become an alcoholic. How soon it happens also depends on the level of your drinking skill. Wow. Okay.
Come on then, what's the holdup? We've no time to waste.
Okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I'm right behind you, dude.
What's the matter with you? We have to start Mass. It's already late.
All right, I was just trying to talk to him.
Come on then, what's the holdup? We've no time to waste.
What's the holdup? I'm drunk. And I don't know what I'm going to say. I've never given a Mass before. Is that what we're giving? Are we giving the Mass? What part are we doing? The sermon. Oh, why did I lose reputation?
Never show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Remember me?
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
I'm actually nervous. I don't want to screw this up. Oh, he has to stand up there. Okay. Here we go. Begin the sermon confidently, start a lengthy sermon, start a modest sermon. Well, let's see here. Let's just start confidently now. Come on, let's be confident up here.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Let's see. God stands at the head of the church. We are coming. It's not man, but it's God who is ruler of the world. Yeah.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone.
Oh gosh, they didn't like that. Continue harshly. Let's be harsh. No, let's not be harsh. Let's be modest.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom.
Yeah.
When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver.
Yeah, good
They
one.
show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
Yeah. Talk about sin is human. I don't know.
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
Yeah.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Preach it, Henry. Continue, modestly, I guess. That's been working so far.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
Yeah. Yeah. Criticize the prelates would stand up for Godwin. Try some quote to conclude. No, let's stand up for
God
him.
sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague.
Good job, Henry.
Amen.
Good job. Yeah. All right. I think we only screwed up one of them. seemed to go well. Henry has a great memory. He's a good speaker, too. He may have a new career.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
That was so much fun. Good job, Henry.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out?
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Well, that was not how I expected things to go, but it went great. We got some good information. We have something to go off of now. We completed the quest Mysterious Ways, which is good because it was bothering me that there was still some people we were supposedly supposed to talk to, but we didn't. Oh, okay. She's giving us the stink eye. This is so neat. I mean, these people, they were in there. I don't know. Actually, I don't know where they were while we were chatting with Father Godwin just now, because we were in here and there was nobody in here. Oh, there's that story again.
God alone knows.
I don't know what those two were talking about.
Oh my God.
Little room here.
I don't know how I managed to escape alive.
He just tells the same story to all different women in the town, hoping he'll get some pity attention.
Aye, the executioner would give him a taste of hell before sending him there.
Okay. So I think it was the alehouse maid that Henry spent the evening with. But I don't think we have the option to talk to her. No, we don't. She seemed interested, but can't talk to her. Well, let's take a look at our quests here. See what is up. We completed the quest called Mysterious Ways. Let's see here. Well, okay. So yes, my sermon went down surprisingly well, And Father Godwin was so grateful he did tell me what Lubosh had confessed to him. It wasn't much, but at least I knew the nick... It is too. I think I accidentally tapped a button, sorry. It wasn't much, but at least I know the nicknames of his cronies. He mentioned some Riki from Ledechko, Timmy, and Pius. So that was the end of that quest. Now our quest is called On the Scent. One of the members of the Neuhoff gang, a fellow who goes by the moniker of Riki, should be somewhere in the vicinity of Ledechko. Unfortunately, that's about all I could find out so far. I expect it shouldn't be too hard to, well, catch scent of this Riki, though I don't expect it will be a pleasant encounter. Track down another member of the Neuhoff gang, a fellow who goes by the name of Riki, and if we look at this on the map, we'll see that we have the whole of Ledechko to search. The game is not going to give me any other clues than that. So, lots of searching to be done there. But in the meantime, let's see here. We're here in Ujits, and we have this at your service, my lady. We're supposed to mount this roan that is just right here south of where we are now. And now we know that we need to sing it a song. Let's see here. The roan. Well, it doesn't say anything about the song. I had to pick up a roan from the Ujit stables. It wasn't easy. Oh yeah, because the game thinks we already did it. It wasn't easy, but I got that stubborn beast safely to Tomberg. We haven't even done that yet. Down here it does say now just to take the roan to Tomberg. That can't be too difficult, can it? So maybe we'll do that next time. Since we're here, we'll see if we can't sing that song to the roan and mount it and be on our way there. And boy, we still have to find this missing Moldavite as well. So we still have more stuff to do for Lady Stephanie. I'm thinking that maybe we need to do that sooner rather than later because we've really dragged our feet on that. So maybe we'll do some of that stuff next time. Time for me to end this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. I hope you had a good time. I had a blast. This is a really neat game. I know I keep saying that, but it's still neat, and I'm really enjoying the story, and a lot of fun stuff happened in this episode. So if you enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave me a like or a comment. If you're not a subscriber, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you join me again in the next episode.